Welcome back to the Nosebleed section. I am your host, as always, Joe, and I am joined by my co-host, Casually Spectacular, this week. And how we're moving is really how we feel, based on last night's Sunday night football flop or failure, or any other words that start with F.
I can think of one, but I don't want us to get demonetized yet.
You don't even get paid for this. Oh man! Before we get in,
Oh,
before we get into the game, as always, let's look at some scores from other games. Currently, the Bills Jets game is going on. The Bills are winning right now, 13-10. About 7 minutes ago in the first half. I've been hearing that Todd Downing's first couple drives have been pretty good so far. New play call for the Jets as they fired Salah and demoted Nathaniel Hackett. Um, who you got on that game? The Bills Jets game.
uh, that one's a little difficult to call, just because, as we were discussing in our own chat room or whatever, and I was telling John, normally teams after firing a coach have some type of a resurgence or
Mm,
whatever. The issue is that the issues that the Jets have had this year, it's like I don't necessarily know, because then I'm not one that's like really keen on the Jets themselves. But to
right.
me, it seemed like it was a little more than just the head coach. So I'm like, I don't know. Did that really solve the issue? Is that going to make Aaron Rodgers like not suck right now? Like, what's that? What is it? I don't know. But like, the other thing is the fact that the Jets always play the Bills like really, really tough, especially in MetLife.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know. The hell, they came out there and they beat them last year without, well, partially without Aaron Rodgers, but we'll see what happens. I technically have the Bills winning that game, but that's just because like Buffalo has been, aside from one game this season, just flat out world beaters.
True. Yeah, I agree. Been I haven't been watching it, but I've been like watching on ESPN and everything, like the play by play and all that stuff. Just seeing what's going on
Mm-hmm.
in the game, and I mean, so far it seems like it's been better. They're getting the run game back involved. Brees Hall's running good from what I've been seeing, the clips I have seen so far. Aaron has a touchdown pass tonight, I believe. But yeah, like you said, the Jets always play. They pretty much always play them tough. So I know we were talking, like you said, about just who we had because we knew it was going to be. It's a divisional game, and again, they always play each other tough. And it's like the Jets have talent. Their offensive line still a work in progress, but like between the receiving core, Garrett Wilson, Michael Williams, Malachi Corley, between Brees and Braylon Allen, like either tight ends, like the Jets have some good pieces on offense. So and defensively, you know they're going to be good. So
Mm-hmm.
they're putting it all together now at this point. Um, Besides that game going on, you had the Thursday night game, Seahawks Niners, um, which was a good game. Again, I don't do the whole Amazon Prime thing; just very annoying to me. Like,
You know what I found out, and I found out by accident, is that if you go onto FanDuel, you can actually watch the game on there.
didn't know that.
Yeah, like if you go in there, like just go like you don't have to go in there to like put like a bet in or anything like that. But once you open the thing up, if you go to the actual game or whatever, it'll actually be. You know how it'll show you the play-by-play thing or whatever. There's
Mm,
also there's also like a live feed that's going on.
I didn't know that.
That's how I've been watching like the last two. So
So you get the Bears torch the Jags. Caleb Williams four
Mhm.
touchdown passes. Um,
You know, the funny thing about that game,
mm,
I actually right before that game was thinking to myself, I was just like, you know what? Jacksonville is used to this shit. Let me switch my pick. Right? I moved myself over to Jacksonville. And for the first quarter and a half, that looked like a smart move. And then I stopped paying attention to the game. I turned it back on, and the Jaguars were down about 45 points or some shit. Like,
Yo, that game got ugly. And people, again, for most people talk about, I mean, there's going to be a big talk about, Trevor Lawrence and was he worth the money that they paid him now. Now you got Doug Peterson's seat's getting pretty hot over there.
mm-hmm.
Now they're like, I think they're 1-5. I think they're like the worst team in the league. Other than that game, that stood out to me. The Packers Cardinals, because like Marvin Harrison has been very inconsistent this year. It's very surprising, especially you have Kyle, a pretty decent quarterback. So
like I heard yesterday too. So
did he?
Yeah, he had a concussion.
Oh, that makes more sense then. Because I was seeing his stat line. It must have been really early in the game.
It had to be because if I remember correctly, it had to have happened in the first half.
Because when I saw it, was like he had like no stats, like no receptions, no yards, on nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, this had to be first, damn near second quarter if this is the case.
Yeah.
And got all the freaking drama with the Eagles-Browns game. Not even like, ugh. Yeah, Sirianni yelling at his own fans.
Yeah.
Stefanski still throwing Deshaun Watson out there. Everybody and their mother hates this dude now.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
And I mean, have you seen this whole thing with the Lions and the Cowboys?
Oh yeah, I saw the game. I was highly upset at one particular thing that everybody is upset about, but like, unfortunately, that's part of the game. But what exactly are you talking about with that?
Oh, just the Jordan Lewis Amon-Ra beef.
Oh no.
Oh. So what are you so upset about? Everybody's so upset about
Hutch.
Well, yeah. I mean, I thought usually like people were mad about it. Like, yeah, it looked rough.
I mean,
it looked
really partially yes. Like, granted, you're still it's the third quarter, so it's still early in the game or whatever. But they were up like 35-6 at that point. So I'm just like, come on, man. Why is he in the game? But hindsight is 2020. So like, who's to say that wouldn't have happened if the score was 21-20 at that
time? Yeah, I mean they're always the one thing about the Lions, and they've said it, is that they're all gas, no brake. They're gonna keep their foot on the pedal, and that's what they felt like. We don't care what the score is, 35-9. Like, and that not for nothing, but the Cowboys do have. Look at the Ravens game earlier this year.
They got firepower. They got enough to come back.
These dudes just start. This was flipped at like the drop of a hat. They'll flip the game. It'll be 35-9. Before you know it, it's 35-29. You're like, what the hell just happened? Like, so it was like, nah, keep our foot on the throats, man. So I mean, I get it. I get what you're saying. Like, why are you in the game? But at the same time, it's like, nah, like we're going out. We're at least throwing the ones out there for another series or two. Go score again, and like, but I know he said he had what, for broken tibia and fibia, or broken tibia and fibia. Things are
fibula.
Yeah, and then he had like a fracture in the other one. I don't know if both are completely broken, but I know he has like one was fully broken, one was a fracture.
Yeah. The good thing is that I don't even know if you can call it a good thing, but like the better part of this is that there was no, according to what they're saying, no ligament damage. So all he's doing is healing the bone. He's not having to go through the rehab of having to like build the strength back up and all of this craziness and everything that you got to go through if he had like torn an Achilles or an ACL or some shit.
Yeah, that's a true point. That's a good point. Well, then you get to our game. Get to the night.
Oh no! Before we do that, shout out to the fucking Ravens, man. Good lord.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, they took care of business, beat the Commanders, and left our whole division open. Still, and we should have took a big step forward last night.
And I cannot complain with the running game that we have because of Tyrone Tracy recently over the last couple of weeks. But I can sit up here and just be a little bit jealous because Derrick Henry was a free agent and we could have very well have made an offer. It wouldn't have looked good because of the Saquon thing, but my God.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't know if the whole Josh Jacobs thing is true or not.
It isn't.
I was say because I don't think we were going to pay that dude $48 to $50 million if we were going to pay Saquon 37.
Yeah, it's not true. Apparently, what happened was Josh Jacobs came out and said that shit, or somebody in his representation came out and said something else like that, and it was on like a podcast. So when people started like researching and everything, it was just the Giants never made him an offer like that. So like I said, yeah, had that been the case, I would have been pissed because I'm just like, why the fuck you know what? Never mind.
Oh hell yeah, I definitely would have been pissed if that were the case. That'd have been stupid. You're gonna sit up here and talk about we're not paying Saquon 37 or whatever we would have offered him, but you're gonna pay Josh 48? Like, no. Ain't no way. No way.
No, not at all.
No, it's like again, to get into the game, you had oh gosh. This is what's so frustrating. This is it's so frustrating. This is what we were just talking about last week, and what we've talked about this entire season so far. We sit here and the offense, but more so Daniel Jones. You have all these efficient games. Not saying you're a world beater, not saying you're, a top 5 QB in the game, but you have these really good games that gives the fan base like damn near hope and just be like, okay, like, all right, he's doing some good things out there. You're telling me you can go into Seattle, into the 12th man, through all that crowd noise and the hype and energy that the Seahawks are and all that. You're going to go right up there and go dominate that game and just walk up and down the field. Great pass pro, great run blocking. Daniel Jones hitting people, pushing the ball downfield, like hitting people accurately. You can do all these things away in Seattle. Like, I can see, okay, I'm not even in the – these are – again, against the Browns, like, that's another kind of crazy-ass environment, too. So you can go away.
Yeah, the dog pound is not an easy place to play in, regardless of how bad the Browns are.
No, they never are. And it's like you can go away into all these really tough environments and just ball the hell out. And you get here home to where your home stadium, and you just revert back to like college Daniel Jones. Like, I'm not gonna even I can't put Moses on the offense because it starts with him. Like, Andrew Thomas had a rough night. He got beat for 2 sacks.
It wasn't just him.
I know. He's also been.
It wasn't just. It's like the only good offensive lineman we had last night was Illuminor. Everybody else was trash.
Shoot, GVR actually graded out higher than Illuminor according to PFF.
That's crazy. That's crazy because GVR was getting his ass beat too.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. He graded out higher than him. So I'm like, it was an off night for the line. We still only give up 2 sacks, but we gave some pressures and some hurries and stuff. But my man had some clean pockets to work with.
Mm-hmm.
He had some pockets he could have stepped up in, and he did step up in, and he will just prove to be inaccurate, indecisive, predictable. Like, what is it about playing at MetLife that you just choke in front of the home fans? Like what is the issue? Because you have the line in front of you. You have good running backs. You have receivers. You have tight ends. So what's the issue? And the receivers are winning one-on-one. So what's the issue?
Well, let's put it into perspective. It's not the receivers are winning 1-on-1. It's the receivers that he's not going to at the particular time.
Oh my gosh.
Because you can see it in the clips or whatever. They're all over Twitter. They're all over Facebook. They're all over pretty much everything. This person was wide open on this play and all this other stuff. It's like the guy's coming open like a split second after Daniel Jones has already decided to throw the ball somewhere else. And the somewhere else that he's throwing it to, this isn't me giving him an excuse. Like I said, he's on my shit list too. But here's the comparison that I came up with. Joe, you're an anime fan just like I am. All right? What is the difference between Monkey D. Luffy and Captain Kidd? Monkey D. Luffy is the fucking main character. Captain Kidd is the bad side to it. He's the side that fails. That is the difference between the superstar quarterback right now and Daniel Jones. He has all of the tools. All of the tools. Just cannot get it done. Look at the bullshit that Joe Burrow pulled last night with that pass to Jamar Chase. Daniel Jones does that, I guarantee you that's an interception. And the thing with him, as you were bringing up, like all of the good things that's going on, all of the good, the consistent play and everything like that, and then you come up there with that stupid ass interception where he went out there and he actually just should have taken the sack. Sometimes you just gotta eat it. All right, it is what it is. Eat it and just live to fight another day. The issue is he does not have, because of all of the erratic play before that, he does not have the equity to get the benefit of the doubt. So he's in a situation where it's just like, you go out there, I could win, you go out there, win 2 or 3 games, have damn near perfect passer rating in all of them. Go out there in the next game and throw 2 interceptions and see exactly how the fan base looks at you. They're going to be ready to crucify him. He doesn't have it right now. And he's not going to have it because people have been looking at this shit for 6 years.
Yo, to me, it's not even that he's throwing interceptions. It's how he's doing it. Like,
yeah,
it's not even like, okay, you missed and or you threw the ball and hit the guy in his hands, but he tipped it and felt like something like when Eli Manning was getting screwed on his interceptions. And it was like, you should even be credited with that because freaking like Victor Cruz and Mario Manningham and Ruben Randall want to try to catch like this and throw the ball straight to the defense. Now Eli's just in here like, yo, bro, like, what is that? Like, there's a whole season of Mario Manningham straight just volleyball bumping the ball to the other team. Like, so I can't even blame it if it was that, but it's not that. It's not that
he'll sit up there and he'll panic and do the same dumb shit last night that he went and did against Houston in the preseason. Now, like I said, that second interception against, I'm not even trying to go on too much of a tangent. We're not talking about the second one, where he went down there, Derek Stingley just decided he wanted to be in Jalen Hyatt's pocket for the entire route. But I'm talking about the first one, when he sat up here, had time to make a decision, and he was just like, shit, and then he panicked and waited until the last second, and then threw the ball where it shouldn't have been. This is the same thing that happened last night. B.J. Hill, when I initially saw that play, I was just like, yo, what the fuck? Yo, like B.J. Hill just destroyed whoever was in front of him at the time, got through the line, and killed Daniel Jones. All right? That's what I thought on the first time I saw it. And then I saw the replay, and I was just like, this dude had time. Like, just roll the fuck out, bro. He's not faster than you.
No, like, not at all. I was like, as soon as you saw him barreling down on you, why didn't you just take off running? If you like, I get you were looking down the field, Theo Johnson. This is the second time they've tried this BS throwback crap because they did it in Cleveland, and now they almost did it last time in Cleveland.
It's actually the third And the reason why they did it again is because unfortunately it worked last week. That's the Slayton touchdown from last week.
Still, it's just stupid. It's stupid play calling. And you like, why do like? I get you're trying to get creative to get in the end zone, but bro, like, just do a different play. And then on top of that, again, him. If you're gonna just bail, and the throwback isn't there because it wasn't there in the replay, then just fall down.
Run.
Just run or fall and take the sack. Because if you're looking down this, I might not see the defender barreling down on me. And then when I do, fall to the ground. Like if it's too late, you can't fall to the ground. He has no situational awareness. None. Like there's nothing there. Yo, that like I said earlier when we were talking, that spelled the entire rest of the game for me. I didn't even want to watch it because I was like, "Oh, you're back to that, Daniel Jones." I don't even want to watch this game, like because there's no reason that you can go to the dog pound and be competent and be composed in the pocket. Myles Garrett flying around the edge trying to kill you, and you're just chilling, looking, just standing around, timing up,
trying, literally killing.
Bro, like JOK roaming the middle, Denzel Ward on one side, other kid on the other side. I forget his name right now. Like on a good secondary, you're just chilling. There's no reason you go to Seattle last week and all that noise and one of the most wild crowds in the league and go shred them. And you're at home in MetLife and you do that. Like that, I was already just like, yeah, whatever. Like, I don't want to watch this anymore. There's no point in watching this. Because if you're going to do that on the first drive, you're on the 10-yard line. It was 1st and goal. If that happens, you have to know I can't put the ball in danger and screw the drive up.
Yep.
You have to know that in your head. Oh, crap. I got caught looking downfield too long. Defender's here. I'm just going to fall to the ground. I'm going to eat the sack. 15-yard loss. Great. It's 2nd and goal. We're on our 25, but I still have the ball. And now I have 2 more downs. Maybe something happens and somebody gets open and it's a 25-yard touchdown pass. Maybe you just run the ball twice and get 5 10-yard chunks and you make a 20-something-yard field goal. And now Greg Joseph has a 25-yard field goal instead of a 47 he has to go kick. And maybe that sets off his confidence a little better. Okay, I got a 25-yard chip shot. Boom, I make it. Now it's 7-3. That can change the entire complexity of the game because you want to do that dumb shit. Now, next time he gets trotted out, the 47-yarder instead of a 25-yarder, a 30-yarder. Now, I get it. You're a professional kicker. I'm not giving you any pass. I'm not doing that at all. You are.
Actually, fuck him expeditiously.
Like this is literally the one thing we hire you for. We hire you to kick a ball through a goalpost. You can't do that. What's your value to this team? Like after making 8 straight the previous couple weeks after missing his first initial one, now you've gone over. Now you went 0 for last night. Like 0 for 3 because you had a 47-yarder, a 47-yarder, something else, and then a 45-yarder. It was 3 field goals he missed. It's 9 points on the board.
No, it was. I think he was 0 for 2.
Was it 2? I thought it was 3.
Yeah, it was only 0 for 2. I don't think he missed another one.
Oh, okay, I thought it was 3.
But either way it goes, because like the 2 field goal attempts that he had were the one where we were going to tie it up when it was 10. It was 10-7. We had the possibility of tying it up there, and the other one was the one where we were driving down the field trying to make a comeback when we were down by 10.
Mm-hmm.
But as I explained before, or as we were talking before, like if he makes that first one, the second one becomes irrelevant because it's just like at that point you're not trying to kick a field goal unless on the drive before that you give up a field goal. That's the only way. Because the drive before that is when Chase Brown scored that touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, I'm sitting here and I'm just like, technically, that's probably the only way we could have won that game at that point is get the ball back with around 2 minutes left in the game, drive down, kick the field goal real quick, and then hopefully grab the onside kick. But even then, it's just like it shouldn't have come to that.
No, not at all. Not at all. Like, and I get it. Like, I get it. We're not out there. We're not playing quarterback, and I can't imagine how it looks. But bro, like, you can't be so predictable. Like, and it's other people out there to throw the ball to. And again, even on that throwback play, when you look at the all 22, he had Tyrone Tracy wide open in the flat, which he was staring at first. When he hiked the ball and he started stepping back, he was staring directly at Tyrone Tracy. The corner bailed, the linebacker went with the tight end. Tyrone Tracy was staring wide open. Could have dumped him in the flat. He could have had a 10-yard run. He could have made somebody miss and scored a touchdown on the first drive. Now it's 7-7. Completely different ball game. But based off of your terrible decision-making, I already knew what was up. Like, if that's what you were going to do on the first drive of the game in response to the Bengals, and that run by Burrow, there was nothing else to talk about. And he just proved it. He proved it after hitting high at one time. I think he hit Slayton. He hit Wandale, I want to say 2 or 3 times maybe. Every other pass was going to Darius Slayton.
Well, I got unless you were talking about that one particular drive, I got the box score right here. It's actually a little more spread out than I thought it was.
How many yards did he have?
Daniel Jones 205. But that is a little skewed because Daniel Jones also had 56 yards rushing yesterday. So, all right. So here's the thing, and here's why it looks like we were only going to Slayton, is because Slayton had 11 targets last night. Wandale also had 11 targets, but he caught 5 for 50. Slayton was 6 for 57. Theo Johnson was 3 for 30. Jalen Hyatt, unfortunately, was 1 for 6 and on 4 targets. Isaiah Hodgins was 1 target, 1 catch for 5 yards. And here's the one that I was honestly not expecting, and that was Tyrone Tracy, 6 targets, 6 receptions for 57 yards. So
he had 100-yard game all purpose.
Yeah, I'm saying get the ball.
Yeah, you could see.
I don't give it. Even when Neighbors gets back, get the ball to Tracy.
Yo,
I'm not gonna say make him the number one or whatever as far as the number one option in the offense, because that still should be Malik Neighbors. But you even through the bad that we had yesterday, I'm seeing the beginnings of something that should be moving forward.
Yo, you could see in the second half they started going to him more, and he was just building momentum.
He was wearing these motherfuckers out.
Yeah,
like one of the drives that we went on, they were sitting up there and they highlighted it. It was just like the Giants, the way, as a matter of fact, it was the touchdown drive, the one that Tracy scored on.
Mm-hmm.
Because we had the ball for 7, 8, 9 minutes. And Cincy's defensive line was just getting gassed. So I'm just you have the beginnings of something.
Yeah, it was so different. It was so different first half to second half. Second half, he came out and we were just running the ball downhill. He was taking dump offs. He was catching screens. Everything, he was going back left and right. It was Tyrone Tracy, maybe 4, 5, 6, 7 times. He was killing them. Like you said, the defense was gassed running around trying to chase this dude down, converting 3rd and 4th downs, which is something that something else that we had to adopt to, because we couldn't rely on our kicker. So every 4th down.
The fact that you know how I feel about Jamie Gillan, but the fact that Jamie Gillan wasn't there yesterday and Hacker, how the hell you pronounce his last name, was inconsistent as hell. One play he'll punt the ball
I didn't think he did a bad job.
Yeah, he had between the first, second, and third punts, I think that first punt went 22 yards. And then the next one went.
The first one was bad because it was a line drive.
Yeah. And then the second one went like 60. I was like, what the hell is going on with this dude?
I thought, like you said, outside of the first one, I feel like he did. I feel like he did a pretty good job as far as pinning the Bengals in. Like he wasn't putting them on. Like, he wasn't like shanking punts and 12 and 14-yard punts like Gillen has. He's like punting the ball in the field. Like at least he was trying to help. Like we were winning the field position battle. That's the thing we've been talking about. Also, like the time of possession battle. We've been killing teams with that. Like we have the ball, like you said, for these long, extended drives that completely kill the defense. Like you sitting up here having 8 and 9 minute drives that you're going on. Defense is gassed, and then you sit up here and you can't convert. Like, and that's the difference between being one of these top 5, top 10 teams that's scoring 35 points a game, or being us, a bottom 5 team scoring 18 points a game, and just depending on our defense to do everything.
Yeah.
Like I said, the offense didn't play that well, but like again, I think
they
I
still had their opportunities.
Oh yeah, they had opportunities. But I just at this point, I think Daniels reached the ceiling. Like I don't see him progressing anywhere better than he is now.
What I think is, I think we saw Daniel Jones' ceiling 2 years ago in Minnesota. I don't think he'll ever get back to that. The problem is
he doesn't have Saquon. To be honest, I'm sorry.
Well, all right. Let's see what. I'm not going to say that he is Saquon. I don't think he can be the dynamic player that Saquon is. But let's see what we got in Tracy before we.
I would love to be wrong. I would love to be wrong. But it's what you said earlier in the season and everything. Not caring about teams not having to, prepare.
Right. They don't have to prepare for it.
They don't.
They're going to eventually.
Hopefully.
They're going to eventually.
Yes.
But that was my biggest thing when it came to him. Everybody was sitting up there like, oh man, the production. It's not the production, it's the respect.
Like,
because Devin Singletary can go out there and average, 1 point something yards more than Saquon Barkley did last year. But the fact is, Devin Singletary was 1, splitting time with another back, and 2, there wasn't no focus on him coming from the opposition. And now he can come up here and I'm already ready to give the RB1 spot to Tyrone Tracy. So what are we talking about?
I really hope they don't have Tyrone Tracy's production when Devin comes back. I think
they're going to start splitting them. I think you're going to see, instead of it being Gray that was coming in, it's going to be Tracy. I think Gray is going to be the one that gets knocked down.
Well, yeah, that for sure. I looked at I talked about that last week in an article I typed, and I was just saying Gray's going, his playtime's going to go down severely when Devin comes back, because regardless of sorry, a message we just got. Oh man, I wish I could say that one. Regardless of when Devin comes back, Tracy still needs to be the number 1. He's just showed a different level. And I'm not no disrespect to Devin Singletary or anything, but again, like you just said, he's somebody who's used to splitting time and not having to be the bell cow 3-down guy who's doing everything. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Teams get 2 different looks. They have 2 different people that they have to game plan for, but 2 different run styles that you have to model your game to. So you'll have Tracy. And again, I'm not gonna say unfortunately, because I don't think Eric Gray's been what we kind of thought he was going to be for us. And he flashed in the preseason and everything, and then he just hasn't really done anything yet. He looked all right. He's the good 3rd down guy who just comes in and catch screen passes and stuff like that. And if that's his role, then that's his role.
Yeah, that's his role.
But it ain't gonna be you're not getting no 10, 15 carries a game.
Nah. And honestly, until he goes high and tight, then I don't want him getting 10 to 15 carries a game. I'm gonna be completely honest with you too. Last night when I saw him on the field, I started shaking. I'm like, oh God, here we go.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I got scared too. I definitely got scared. I was sitting up here watching. I was sitting up here as soon as I saw him coming the game because I was sitting there again watching Tracy, him running up everything that he chalked off, and I was just like, oh God, Eric Gray's coming into the game. What are we? It's gonna be a screen pass or something. Like I was terrified as soon as I saw him jog on the field. I was like, just hold on to the ball. That's all I
Yeah.
want to do. Like, oh, I
And
don't
what
like
the hell is Turbo? Put him on the damn field.
special teams. That's it.
Fuck.
He's a gunner. He's a gunner on punt. That's all he is. I
I
wish
want him in
they.
the backfield.
I do too. Give that man. Give him a shot. Like, I think if they give him a legit shot with number ones, I think he could replace Eric Gray.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly do. I think he's a better back. And this is why being a Giants fan this time is so frustrating because you have a quarterback that goes out there and gives the fan base hope. I don't want to say hope, just like give us consistency. Like nobody's asking you to be Patrick Mahomes. Nobody's asking you to go be that guy, Lamar Jackson. Will we want that? Yes, we would love that. We would love if you could be that guy. But like you're not. You're just not. But it's like, okay, you don't have to be Lamar Jackson. You don't have to be Patrick Mahomes. But can I get like prime Ryan Tannehill? Like, can I get like 25 touchdown passes, some ball security, play off the play action with a good running back behind you and a good line in front of you, just make throws on time? Can you just be efficient Daniel Jones all the time? Like, just give me that. Give me Seattle, Detroit. Give me Seattle Seahawks, last week, Daniel Jones for 17 games. You don't got to go win us the game, but just don't lose us the game. Like, give me something else other than that last night. You're facing the worst defense in the league, and you can put up 7 points. Like, game on the line. Who am I going to go to? Darius Slayton. We forced the ball in there because I've been going to him the past 7 throws. And Wan'Dale Robinson was open right behind him. Series before that. Gotta go somebody. I'm going to Darius Slayton. Oh, guess who's open behind you this time? Jalen Hyatt screaming wide open behind you. But Daniel, you're so set on this is who I'm going to go pre-snap. No matter what.
Wait, hold up. Nah, that was all the way around. That one you were talking about, that last one where Hyatt came open, wasn't that the Wandale play?
No. The last play where they got stopped on 4th down to turn it over.
Oh, wait. Okay, so our last drive, that's the one you're talking, not the missed field goal, the one before that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, because I thought you were talking about that drive previous to that one that we had gotten stopped on 4, because we got stopped a couple of times.
Yeah.
One of those passes was going straight to Wandale, and they was just like, and this is one of the other things, they was just like, oh, you're going to Wandale because we know you're going to Wandale. We know who to focus on. Slayton was open over there, and then Hyatt was coming across the field. He had just come open after Daniel Jones had thrown the ball. So it was just, he has his guys, unfortunately, right now. And the thing is, everybody knows he has his guys. And the difference between his guys and the other guys that are on the field, it's like, where's my camera? Right here. So it's just like it's third and 7. All right. The defense is going to be like, all right, it's third and 7. They're out here in a 3 wide receiver formation. I see Slayton. I see Robinson. I see Hyatt. All right. Just put Hyatt 1-on-1 and let's make sure we double up Slayton and Robinson because we know he's not going to 13.
Yo, it's
that's just how it's been.
it's just like, yo, like, why not try something else? Why not ghost to somebody? Why not read the field instead of just being like pre-snap no matter what I'm throwing to this person? Now, like,
Yeah.
if Dave's is tagging this on the plays, then he needs to do a better job of like being more.
And the thing is, you're never gonna know that.
No, you're never gonna know. You're never gonna know.
You're never gonna know that just because of the fact that number one is this the professional way to do things is to own shit yourself.
Yeah.
And then number two, Daniel Jones comes from the Eli Manning school of taking responsibility for everything.
Yep. He's not going to throw
Right.
the bus or anything.
Eric Gray fumbles the ball on the goal line. It was a touchdown. It was Daniel Jones' fault. He was like, I got to do a better job handling the ball.
Mm-hmm.
That's the stone he's cut from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. I'm just like
Jason Pinnock jumps on the ball and a fumble, and it goes out of bounds. I got to do a better job.
Well, I mean, no, like you're right, and he's not going to throw Dave's under the bus regardless of anything. I'm just saying, like, if this is Dave's like tagging somebody every time, so that's why Daniel's just going to that person, like that's on Dave's then. Even though it's still on Daniel Jones, because Daniel Jones still needs to read the field. Like you still have
there you go. What was the thing that we were talking about before with the Caleb Williams thing, where I had brought up, are they preventing him from making audibles? And your response was, fuck that. Right? What are you going to do? Cut me?
right. Like, that's what attitude you got to have, though, especially at this point. Like, what are you real? Daniel Jones should be going out there and just letting his junk hang every play at this point.
Exactly.
He should just go out there.
I mean, he does it when he runs. It's just for whatever reason when he drops back to pass or whatever, it's just like,
whoa, my man turns into Taysom Hill when he has to run.
This man didn't turn into fucking Taysom Hill. This dude turned into Jerome Bettis.
I was trying to at least make him a quarterback. Like, this man, as soon as he takes off to run, he just starts dropping his shoulder, and the linebackers and D tackles. Like, can you stop dropping D tackles? Like,
fucking Daniel Jones Chandler is inner Brandon Jacobs.
You got the balls to go run over D tackles, but you sit up there in the pocket and just look like I don't even know. I don't even want to compare that. It's like, damn, what are we doing? Like, that's literally how he needs to just come the rest of the season. Because I'm like, if I'm Daniel Jones, I kind of feel like the writing's on the wall. Like, what's the expectation that we're setting here? If you can't throw for 4,000 yards and 40 touchdown passes and leads to a Super Bowl, you're not coming back next year. Like, not happening. So I mean,
from a fan base standpoint, I think that's the goal or whatever. That 4,040 or whatever, and not even throw for 40. I think cumulative 40 touchdowns. I think that to me would be it because like, all right, part of that is him on his legs and shit. But the thing is, for whatever reason, and maybe it's just pessimism on my part, and maybe it's somebody in Joe Shane's ear. I don't want to sit up here and throw John Mara out there because you saw from Hard Knocks, like Joe Shane does what the fuck he wants to, but maybe for them it's the, like I said, this is just me. Like, is it that the standard isn't that high? Is it get us to the playoffs and we'll be good? I don't need to just get us to the playoffs. You've already won a playoff game. You show me you can do that if you're good. Go win another one. Not just the one. Win me two. Get me to the NFC Championship.
Something. But
go out there and granted, I'm looking at the landscape of shit. That's like, fuck. You gotta go through fucking Detroit or Minnesota. The Detroit that beat the shit out of just about everybody this year. Minnesota beat the shit out of us. So it's just like, okay, maybe that's a little unrealistic, but still, that's what it should be. That's the goal. Like, go beat the team that beat us or whatever.
You gotta do something. But like, if I'm him, like this all comes back to like, I mean, just him in general. I don't know how he looks like he's playing scared sometimes. He's still making some of the same mistakes. Yo, if you know in the back of your head, oh, I got this contract, it's 4 years, blah blah, but it's really 2, and they can get out after this year. This is the year. Like, I'm gonna go out and let my nuts hang. Like, I'm just going out with me. Like, I'm just gonna go out and do whatever. Like, if Dave's tagged that play at the end of the game to go to Slayton, and you look at Slayton and you see that corner on his back, look somewhere else. Like, just like, you know what? He told me to go there, but he's clearly not open. This guy is like, for better or worse, if I'm going to try to throw a ball in the vicinity to get PI, like, let's look somewhere else. Oh, let's look here. Oh, you know, Hyatt's open, or Wandale's open. Like, let's throw it there. And you say you're gonna look to the sideline. What's Dave's gonna do? Curse you out? Like, I didn't tell you to throw it there. It's okay. Well, he was covered and he was open. Think you want to go to the game? Do you not? Or would you have rather me throw to the guy who was double covered? Because when I do that, then you yell at me. So let me just throw to the guy who's open, get the first down, and keep going down trying to win the game. Like, this is a win-win. Like, it's crazy because you're probably going to get released at the end of the season regardless, unless you give us a Lombardi. But if you're Daniel Jones, what do you have to lose? Just go out and throw the goddamn ball. You're not auditioning for another team because another team's looking like, you know what, in the right system, we could use that guy. Nobody's looking at you like that. Nobody's looking at you like you have potential that's untapped and we do feel like where? What team is looking at you like, oh, he's auditioning for another team? That boy's just trying to be in the league next year. And he'll probably
maybe Calgary Stampede.
Like, he'll probably get picked up. Some team will probably, if and when we release him, some team will probably look and be like, we're going to bring you in, but don't expect very much. Like, but some team's going to throw him a bone. It's just going to happen. But, like, I'm like,
I have a feeling he's going to end up with the Texans.
I don't know. It was going to be like a reverse Derek Carr situation or David Carr situation.
Sitting up here, backing up CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud going to get, he going to go out there and get suspended for some dumb shit. And Daniel Jones going to come in and throw for 350 yards and 2 touchdowns against somebody. You're like, oh my God.
Be another post-Giant success story. Look at this guy. Daniel Jones' career resurgence thriving in New York. Like every other Giant that leaves. I'm like, oh my God. Yep. You know how they're going to spin that story.
Of course. They're gonna be, and he's going to come back there and he's going to light us the fuck up. And they're going to be like, oh man, he's the next BJ Hill.
He's going to leave. He's going to be like, this is going to be another Sam Darnold story or something like that. He's going to leave and go be a journeyman for a couple teams. And then he's going to find some team and find his niche. And he's going to like how Sam Darnold's looking this year.
Him and Mayfield.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's going to go somewhere and just start lighting it up. But it ain't going to be here. Like,
nah.
It don't need to be. Like, for better or worse, after this season, what you're seeing, there's no way you can confidently trot that man back out there.
Nah.
You know how many fans would like revolt? Like
I said, the only way that ends up happening is if we fuck around and win just way too many games to be in position to draft a quarterback without a major draft haul being given up.
Like, and I'm slightly torn because I'm like, because I'm looking at draft boards and I feel like there's 3 or 4 names that everybody knows already. And then there's like a big drop off. And then you have to really think about where the talent of these kids are. So you sit up here, and we've had this conversation before online, and we had this conversation before. Often we talk about it damn near every day at this point. But like, if you're the Giants and you're sitting up there, and like you said, you play yourself out of position for like a quarterback, and you're not going to give that haul up, it's a 2-part question because then it's like, what do you do at that pick? Because it's like, do I add a position of premium value and that's cool and that's great. Whether it's the tackle that goes next to Dex or the number one corner comes out, and now you got him and you got Banks, like to further solidify a secondary, or it's a rush end or something like that, like whatever it may be. But then one, it's two part because what do you do, and then two, what's going to happen with quarterback now? Because now it's like the draft's after most of free agency, so unless there's some free agent that's going to be sitting out there, it's like,
which there isn't.
Are you telling us that you're going to have another year of this guy leading the offense?
Probably, because what's the other option?
Exactly. Like
you don't really know. Like, so my question would be in that situation: are you what's more valuable at that point? Because I would be looking at the top corner. I would be looking at defensive tackle. And the other position that I would be looking at, which people would probably turn their eyebrows up at me like, what the fuck are you talking about, is wide receiver. Because I've said it before, I would kill to get Terry McLaurin on this team and have him be wide receiver 2 to Malik Neighbors. But you're looking at a situation where, do you think Slayton is going to be coming back next year?
No.
And if he isn't, are you comfortable with how Jalin Hyatt has been so far this year? Are you comfortable with him being the number 2?
Me personally, I want him more involved in the offense. Clearly, they're not, because
like I said, I do. But the thing is, it's just like, all right, what is the major connection issue between these two? And if you're bringing Daniel Jones back, if we're not in a position to move up, are we willing to go forward with that? And then at that point, it's just like, all right, do you trade him? Do you keep him? What do we do in this situation? Because the last thing I want to do is have him end up down in Dallas or some shit. Or, God forbid, Philadelphia, him and fucking Devontae Smith next to each other.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I said this to you, like, seeing back on some of these plays that have happened, like, I understand Hyatt didn't fully extend his arms on the plays last night, people were saying, but, like, even before that, there's plays where you see Hyatt open and Daniel not even looking his way. So we said, like, is this a Hyatt thing where he's not ready and, like, he's not fully developed and he has to run better routes or something like that? Or is it literally just a DJ thing where he predetermines where he's going to go on every play and he's not going to bother to read and look at the field?
I don't know if it's necessarily like every single play that he's like just predetermined, like, all right, fuck it, I'm going to this person and this person alone. I think what it is like, and we've pointed it out before, is it's just processing speed when it comes to him. Where it's just like, all right, I see this person about to win on their route, but I need to stay on them for another beat before I go move on to the next person. Where instead of him just throwing the guy open like most good quarterbacks can do, he has to wait for them to get open so that he can throw them the ball. And that you can't do that in the NFL. This isn't Duke.
That's a fair point. So he's not a quarterback.
Right. And the other thing is just like, last night, I don't remember hearing anybody saying that he wasn't like fully extended, because Hyatt got interfered with like 3 times last night. And they only threw the flag once. But people were playing over his back the entire fucking night. The one play that I was a little twisted with him on was the one deep pass that he was running down the Bengals sideline. It was going from right to left. And Daniel Jones put it out there. It looked like he overthrew him by about 5 yards. But when the ball landed, it also looked like Hyatt was jogging. So I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, did he gear down not thinking he was going to get the pass? Or did he give up on the route thinking he wasn't going to catch it? Because I'm just like, That didn't look right to me. So, like I said, I don't know. But like I said, right now, obviously the connection between the two of them ain't right. And I would technically, depending on who's available, might be looking to wide receiver to actually bring in a guy with Neighbors and start to put yourself in a position where you got two young receivers that could be two alphas, even though that doesn't necessarily always work. You got two alpha dogs out there on either side of the field, so then it's just like, all right, what the fuck do we do as a defense now? Because now you got him over here, you got him over here, and then you got Himothy in the backfield. So
yeah,
that's kind of sort of how I've been looking at it, and I'm trying to shape a form an opinion on right now. And I'm not really sure which way I want to go with it.
it's tough. I mean, and we talked about it before. Again, if you get like a Travis Hunter, like even you got him in the draft or something like that, then that would be because again, it sucks because it's like bittersweet because it's like you sit up here, you go get him. Again, it's like you're damn near committing to this dude at QB again. But to add such a weapon to your team, receiver and corner, you probably won't go both ways in the NFL, but even if he didn't, putting him on one side corner with Deontay at the other corner, it sounds nice, but then again, it's like you look at the Q situation, it's just like can't keep this dude out there. Like you gotta figure it out at some point. So like I don't know how many games we're gonna win. I don't know if it's gonna be we're gonna do the giant thing and we're gonna win 6 meaningless games at the end of the year and go from pick 1 to pick 12. And you know what I'm saying? I don't know if this is what we're gonna do. But like something needs to be figured out. You can't keep trotting them out there. They're gonna be free agent quarterbacks next year. I mean, if Justin Fields keeps doing what he's doing in Pittsburgh, Russ might be available.
I don't want him. Like I honestly don't.
I'm just saying.
I think he's just as damaged, yo.
I mean, I'm just saying that you have him. I mean, Kirk Cousins will be a free agent. I don't know if you want to get a year of him and then draft the Aaron.
That's a dangerous one.
Because then they more than likely are going to move on to Penix next year. So you go get Kirk for a year and trot him out there. At least you know what you're getting out of him. And then again,
you know what? I got it. Granted, you got to have a partner involved in it, but say we end up in a situation where we're drafting 8 or 9 or some shit like that. We're not in position to get one of the top quarterbacks. Cam Ward then gone second overall to fucking Las Vegas. And Deion Sanders then made it obvious that Shador ain't coming over here. All right, we're in this position. Somebody sees a guy who's Missouri's wide receiver or some shit like that.
Luther Burden.
Somebody wants to trade it. Yeah, somebody wants to trade up for him. And we're just like, you know what? Okay. Give us your one next year. Get that one. You know where I'm going. Get that one. Take our one next year.
Oh, boy.
Does not fucking matter what else we have to add onto it, but we are trading the fuck up. And Arch Manning will be a New York Giant in 2025. Or 2026, my bad. I'm sorry. Wrong year.
Oh, my God.
But, like I said, that's worst case scenario.
All I know is we can't try Deion Jones out there. I'm not even like it just sucks that this is a whole offensive episode, but it just is what it is. Like, okay, the defense gave up the run to Joe Burrow. Gotcha. Like, we gave up the run to Chase Brown.
That to me is not on the fucking defense. That's on Shane Bowen. My God.
Yeah, I mean,
moron.
Yeah, I mean, you got that. It's 3rd and 18. You're playing these dudes man across the board. Like, I don't know.
And then on top of that, look at the defensive line alignment. You had 3 guys to his left. You had a massive fucking gap. And then, like, what was that? Boogie Basham on the other side? Yo, come on.
Yep. the alignment was stupid. It was stupid. Like you have that play, you have the Chase Brown run at the end, Pinnock not getting on top of the fumble. I get all that. I really do. Like, but at that point, with a lot of it, like again, the run. If you haven't noticed, it's kind of been a theme for us this year. Every game we have to start in some stupid way, shape, or form. It just is a thing this year. I'm noticing. Like every game we have to go down early 7-0. We have to fumble on the first play of the game or something like that, the first drive. And honestly, some of them, I think what 2 or 3 of them were on Eric Gray, by the way. The Browns game, Seahawks game, he fumbled
Yep.
But like everything kind of has like a stupid opening theme to it. That's just kind of how it is for us this year. You let off the 50-yard touchdown run to Joe Burrow. Cool, whatever. You go out and ball the rest of the game. And again, like you said, we could have had so many more sacks. For as good as Azeez Ojulari did last night, he had 2 sacks. He could have had like 5.
Yep.
Like, instead of going for the strip on Joe Burrow, you should have just tackled him and had the sack. That's 3. There's the other play where Joe Burrow scrambled out where he threw that BS lucky prayer to Jamar Chase.
The Chase play, yeah.
That doesn't even get out.
He should have been sacked like 4 times on that play.
Yes, exactly. Like, but again, the Giants never get those lucky bounces. Like, and again, people are gonna say we got it last week with Seattle, but like, you saw what happened when Daniel Jones just threw the ball up in a prayer. But then Joe Burrow can just throw a ball up in a prayer to Jamar Chase and it just perfectly falls in his hands. Like, so I can't even attack the defense. Like, they balled the hell out. And then, yeah, at the end they broke because they crushed it for the entire game. It's like outside of a couple plays you can nitpick. Like, at the end of the game, fumble, rolling around on the ground. Everybody and their mother can be like, bro, just fall on the ball. It's not a big deal. Okay, you go do that. Let me see any of you do that. If any of you can do that, then more props to you. You should maybe start safety for the New York Giants. I get it. We wanted the ball back to get one last chance to go march down the field and score. I get it. But let's put 5 people barreling down at you, you and maybe one other person on your team behind you, and let's just take a football and throw it on the ground as hard and as awkward as possible and tell you to go running full speed from 30 yards out, and you dive on that ball perfectly before it rolls out of bounds. Like, let me see you do that. And then talk about Jason Pinnock. Like, and again, he broke coverage on the big Yoshi pass at the end. I get it. The defense broke at the end. But they played a hell of a game. So I can't even attack the defense. Like, I can't even, like, again, I could nitpick. There are certain plays that I was like, the hell are you guys doing? But for 99% of that game, they played very well. Last night was completely on the offense. 7 points at home against the worst defense in the league is completely unacceptable. No matter who.
Carl Banks probably said it the best. He said, you cannot in this day and age put that much on your defense and expect them to bail you out every single time.
No.
Because it's not going to happen. The other team is too good.
Yes.
And granted, the Bengals weren't good yesterday.
No, I'm about to say
but
that.
Like, there's still the Cincinnati Bengals.
And they have one of the best offenses in the league, and we shut them down. Like, come on, man. And that's what makes all this so frustrating. And like I said, I get the O-line didn't have the best performance. I get there are some drops. But this is one of those games where it just makes you realize, like, you got to move on. We have to move on from Daniel Jones. Like, you have to. Because going through watching him do what he does other weeks and then having a week like our game like last night, it's just like, it's again, I can't use any other word, but it's just frustrating. It frustrates and irritates your soul. Like, why do you regress? Why do you revert back to like Duke quarterback Daniel Jones or rookie season Daniel Jones? Why do you regress? What happens? What is going on in your mind or your thought? Like, what happens to playing at MetLife? And if you can't play in front of your home crowd, then you can't be a starting quarterback in the NFL. It's literally that simple to me. You can't play at home for your fans that are supposed to love you and support you and cheer for you. You can't play at home, then you can't be a starting quarterback in the NFL. It don't make sense. But every other pick sounds great and sounds nice and everything, but you gotta get. To me, I think you have to try to put your stamping in the quarterback this year. I can't see. I understand the Arch Manning thing. It sounds amazing, but it ain't like every Manning's ever played for the Giants. We got to keep the legacy in the line. Like,
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying if we end
oh,
up in that position where it's just like, oh, what a fuck, we're like 8 picks away, like,
yeah,
and
no,
nobody's trading out. Like,
I get it, but I'm just like, no matter what you do the rest of the offseason, because GBR's on a 1-year deal, so I don't know if you want to bring him back after this season because he has the rapport with Luminor, and now he's working to get better with Schmitz, and he has his whole rapport with Cam Brasillo. So maybe another 1-year deal would be nice with him. Everybody else still is on has another year there. You probably want to extend the Luminor. I don't know what you want to do going forward besides right guard. If you're not planning any plans to work Evan Neal there, if you're not working have any plans that because you're still like he's a tackle for us, but you really want to hope if he's a tackle for you and strictly a tackle for you, then you never want to even see. You hope that you never have to see Evan Neal on the field if that's the case.
Yep.
Because then that means Thomas or Illumina are hurt.
Unless, of course, you want to actually start working him in as a swing tackle, and then.
So once his 4 years is up, we're gonna let him walk because can't extend it.
They're not gonna do the option.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way that you're gonna extend him. Like, for what? Ain't done nothing to be hurt.
No. And underwhelmed.
Yeah. So I'm like every other position sounds nice and everything, and yeah, I could see like receiver would be cool. I do want a number 2 receiver, especially if we're letting Slate go after this year. Like, I'd like to see another receiver, but I don't want. But Slayton is a 5th round pick. Tyrone Tracy's a 5th round pick, and it proves to you that you don't have to go out in the 1st or 2nd round. I mean, Wando's a 2nd rounder, Hyde was a 3rd rounder, so if you can find somebody in the middle rounds that you can go get, and if he's that good, he's that good, and he'll step up. Mm-hmm. So like, I'm cool with that. Tight end, we got sufficient tight ends. Nothing else like matters to me if you don't have a plan at quarterback.
Yep.
I don't know, but for better or worse, that dude can't be wearing the braid jersey. He can't be wearing that jersey next year. Somebody else has to step up, or we get to find somebody ASAP. I don't know. Like I said, Tannehill's a free agent. You want to look to Kirk Cousins, maybe bring in Jameis Winston. I don't know. If you want to try to trade for DTR, I don't know. But I do know that Daniel Jones cannot be our quarterback next year. I'm over it. I don't care if this dude goes out and wins the next 3 games in a row. Those are 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, and we win every game 40-0. I'll applaud him. I'll say, hey, good job. Kid looked good today. Made some nice throws, put some stats up. I'll give you all your flowers, but I know one of those games is coming. I know you're going to regress at some point, and you're just going to be back to square one. And then how long are you going to be in that funk? Every time we come home, I just have to expect you to just shit the bed. After this season, his era is over. Because if it's not, then I think the Dave Shane era is over. I can't see Mara after letting this dude not bring Saquon back and now watching the year Daniel Jones is having, and he continues to have shit performances like last night, I cannot see him keeping Davis and Shane if they're going to keep trotting Daniel Jones out. It's literally the definition of insanity.
If that's the case, I think Mara's insane because, like I said, and I hate to regurgitate what anybody else has said, but Entertainer has said it several times. Dave Gettleman got 4 years. They're going to give Shane 4.
Yeah, they give him 4. What's this? His 3rd year, right?
This is 3.
He got 1 more. But I think that shit's going to be short-lived if he trots number 8 back out there next season.
And to be honest with you, if in fact that ends up happening, I don't think it's going to be like, all right, you guys are going to get fired together. I think it's going to be a situation where it's going to be one or the other. Not one or the other. I think Dave's is going to go first.
Mm.
And then they're going to be like, all right, well, you have the opportunity to go out there and find another coach or whatever, and we'll see what happens from then. I don't think they're a package deal.
Even though they have time spent together with the Bills and everything?
Nah, I don't think they're a package deal. Let me put it to you like this. I don't think. What in the. Oh, okay. Whoa. My bad. I'm keeping an eye on this game down here in the corner. And the time here next to the third quarter says 5:35. And I was sitting so far away from it. I'm looking at it. It looks like it said 3rd and 35. Anyway, so what I'm basically getting at is I do think that Shane has more. He has more leverage than Dable does. I don't think that they're immediately just going to get fired at the same time.
Mm.
Just because of the fact that that's kind of sort of how things generally operate in the NFL, where it's just like, all right, unless there's just a massive fuck up somewhere within the organization, I don't think it's going to end up being like, all right, well, we got to get rid of both of you guys. This isn't a situation where the Jerry Reese Ben McAdoo thing, where they were just like, all right, well, everything is Eli Manning's fault. If we had a different quarterback in here, my offense would be working perfectly. And then they go try Geno Smith out there, and Geno Smith gets his ass handed to him by the Raiders, and they're just like, all right, so it was Eli's fault, right? All right, fuck you and fuck him. It's time to get out of here. I'd like to say it's not. I don't think it's gotten to that point.
I don't know. Remains to be seen.
Especially, like I said, especially considering the fact that the general manager technically is tied to their guy at quarterback, and they haven't gone and gotten their guy. So I think that's the breaking point for them. If they get their quarterback and he fails, then they're gone.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm figuring. That's what I'm waiting for. That's what I'm waiting for them to go get their guy. But it's like, are you going to get 3 years? Are you gonna, win. But it's like, are you going to wait your 3 years? You're going to get 3 years, and then Daniel Jones goes and you pick your guy year 4, and then you get 4 more years of him.
That's pretty much what it's going to end up being.
How long is your leash? That's my thing. How long is your leash? You get 3 years with DJ.
The leash is going to be the rookie contract of the quarterback. Because they've already made the mistake. They already made the mistake once of sitting up here and the rookie quarterback. They had a coach in there set up, and granted, Pat Shurmur wasn't the greatest, but they had a coach set up here. You had a whole thing set up with him, and the first thing they did as soon as they got finished with that season was like, all right, man, you got to go. We're going to bring in this guy, Joe Judge. He seems to be a master of special teams and quarterback sneaks. So he's the perfect guy for our offense.
That's my thing. I just want to know how long is the leash for these guys, because now you're in year 3 with DJ. He leaves after this year. This is even if you were to get a quarterback next draft. Because if you don't get a QB next draft, you got to figure out something for the next season. So if they wait until 2026, it's Archer, whoever else. Like, do they have all this extended time until they get their 4 years of their quarterback? Because if you're telling me like we're gonna be looking at year 10 of these two dudes waiting for them to get a damn quarterback, like, come on.
I don't think you're going to get that long. It's just a matter of like, are you in position and are you willing to give up the equity if you're not? Like, we all remember 2017. All right, that was the year we drafted Evan Ingram. That's also the year Patrick Mahomes came out, and that's also the year that Jerry Reese and them were trying to trade up from like 27 all the way up to freaking pick 10 or wherever when he actually went to go get him. But they weren't willing to give up the draft capital in order to get him. So if you're in position, like I said, we're not going to be picking in the 20s or nothing this year. Like,
No.
Unless some way, somehow you decide to start speaking good shit into existence.
Well, I try to speak this win to existence and you see what happens. Not good at speaking good things into existence, clearly.
See what happened was whoever it was that was listening to you about speaking good shit in existence, they waited until this afternoon when the Mets and Dodgers were playing. It was like, oh, wait, was that what you were talking about? All right, I got you. No problem.
Oh, my gosh. Just, I got nothing left. I got nothing else. Like, I'm just waiting for the waiting for the 2025 draft. Yo.
Like, as bad as it sounds, like, I get it. I understand. Like, I hate having to sit up here and beat the dead horse when it comes to Daniel Jones, especially considering the fact that he's still wearing my uniform. I've always said, and I will always continue to say, if you're wearing the uniform, you have my unconditional support. I'm not going to wish for your downfall because that is counterproductive to us winning. But at the same time, that's not going to absolve that quarterback or that person, whoever the hell it is, Deontay Banks, from being like from like me criticizing when stuff needs to be criticized.
Yeah,
I'm just like, I'm ready for better. I realize that we, as a fan base, were absolutely spoiled for about 15 years having Eli Manning around or whatever. But like, I'm ready to get that feeling back.
Like, the thing is, like, we could only, like, I was just going back and forth with somebody last night on Facebook who I told you I was going back and forth with, but like, it was similar to, like, he was saying, I said similar to what you said to him. Like, he was like, Daniel Jones, you guys all cheered for him and all thought he was going to be the next big thing and this and that. And it's like, I didn't think he could be the next big thing. I didn't think he's going to be, the next Eli Manning or better or whatever else. I said, but I never wanted him. I wanted Josh Allen, the edge from Kentucky, like we all thought was going to happen. Like, that's who I wanted. Because can you imagine him with Dexter Lawrence? Like, now, granted, we might not have a KT or a Burns, but getting those two at 4 and 17 or 6 and 17 would have been like amazing. So now you're sitting up here. He is still getting trotted out every week. We've been in every game this year outside of the Vikings game. So I'm not going, like you said, I'm not going to sit up here and just hope that this guy goes 0 for 20 with no yards passing, 4 interceptions, like, and 4 fumbles. Like, I'm not going to just cheer him to be bad because that just means our team's going to get embarrassed every single week. And that shit sucks to see as a fan. Like, so while he's here, yes, I'm going to hope he does well for the team's sake. Like, he probably isn't going to be here next year. And it is what it is. It just is what it is at that point. But I'm not going to sit here and pray on the dudes. I'm not going to sit up here and pray on the entire organization's downfall. That's just stupid.
No.
So while you wear the jersey, I hope you go out and do well. After you leave the jersey, then it is what it is. It's just like you have your career, you don't after this. But while you wear a Giants uniform, I'm going to hope that you do amazing.
Yeah. It's just that, like, and this is honestly an issue that our fan base has more so than anything else is going out there and they see you see other people, these other teams and shit like that, and they have what you think is like the greatest quarterback play ever, and they don't understand, like, or maybe they do and they just don't care. They don't necessarily understand that that team also has its ups and downs. They only see the good shit. Like, what was going on there? Like, for instance, let's just take, and I know this is like the classes on this are completely different. All right. Let's take Joe Burrow, for instance. All right. Before this week, and before they played the Ravens and they were out there just like chucking the ball all over the damn place and putting up 38 points on the board, how the hell did Joe Burrow look this season? Like shit, right? But every Giants fan out there probably be like, "Hey man, you see Joe Burrow do this, that, and other." Well, yeah, they have their problems too, man. Just like no other quarterback is going to go out there and be 100% efficient all the damn time. It's just that they have equity. That's literally all it is.
Like, look at how bad Cleveland was for like the longest time. Like going through like 25 different quarterbacks, even like the Commanders going through mad different quarterbacks all this time. Like teams have ebbs and flows, they have down years. Again, like we used to play when we used to play like video games and play Madden. Like I play the Browns because they were like 60 overall, and they were like terrible. So like, I want an easy game. I want to put on an exhibition game. I'll take the Giants, and I'm going to play the Browns. Great. I'm going to run all through them because they're like a joke of a team. Like they were just bad. The Browns have been bad like since I feel like I started really watching football. Like, and that's 20 plus years. So like I've never really seen them to be good until like as of recent. And you still don't have the quarterback situation figured out. Like, like you still don't. Since I've been born, they've probably gone through like 50 QBs, like 30 or 45 QBs. So it's like, bro, like teams are going to be up and down, and it sucks because yes, now it's just our turn to be down for a bit, but we're building back up. It's just the one piece we don't have is the majors, the most,
it's the most important one.
Like, so until we figure that out, ain't getting nowhere else.
The problem that gets me, and the point I was trying to get to before my senile ass brain went on a phone tangent about other shit, is you get people, and this is mostly on social media for the most part, the guys that go out there and just wish for the downfall of the player just to be right.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing that gets me about it. That makes me question, and not even question, just like, you're not a fucking fan. Like, you want your way, and you want to be the one to say, well, I'm the one that said this is how it should have gone, and now it went that way, and so now I'm the smart one. Like, no, shut the fuck up. You're an asshole. Like,
those people that like wish injury on like NFL players, they're scumbags. Like,
yeah,
I have legit like screenshots of people that are like, actually there's like a beat writer for the Packers, I want to say, or he's a beat writer for an NFL team who like tweeted out, "I'm happy that AJ Dillon suffered a season-ending injury."
That's some asshole shit, and he should honestly be fired for that.
Yeah, people were just like, "Bro, are you serious?" Like,
Garrett Wilson just got hurt.
Oh boy,
I don't know how bad, but it says Garrett Wilson was injured during the last play. I'm looking at the game because I know John's stressing right now because it's 2020. Jets. Yeah, my phone is charging. I moved my foot and I hit the cable. So whatever.
And the Jets are on the Bills 14 going in.
Yeah, it's fourth now. Well, at least it was.
It's 4th and 12. Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
All right. What do they call timeout?
Don't worry.
Well-
We'll sue Greg Joseph up for the Jets so that John can win his parlay for the night.
Yeah, post Giants career will probably nail and be perfect for the rest of his life.
Yeah, fuck, yo.
All right, guys. As always,
Anyway, I got to go to the bathroom and do my last tour. Before we do anything, before we get finished with this, I do have to shout out Brian Burns was a fucking menace last night. I've been sitting up there waiting for Brian Burns to go off. He went the fuck off last night. I think he only had one sack, but he was disrupted on damn near every play. Fuck the ref that didn't throw the flag for holding on the Yoshivas catch or whatever. That's my guy, but he didn't need to catch that pass in that instance, and the penalty should have been called. Azeez Ojulari went the fuck off last night. Should have had more sacks had he, not done some dumb shit in the middle of the game. And who the hell else was it? Dex had his thing because he's Dexter Lawrence, but that's like I don't want to downplay him, but at the same time, I'm just like I expect that shit from him. I
was waiting for you to be done so I could say that.
I'm sorry, Jay Paul. I'm so sorry. I am not doing this shit to spite y'all. I'm just what the fuck.
The Jets just cannot get it together.
I swear.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Well, the Giants are going. Got Philly next week. The return of Saquon. We'll see how that goes.
I'm not looking forward to a week of Snakequan bullshit that I'm going to be hearing from the Giants. I hate this stupid ass name. Grow up. People leave.
Well, until next week, hopefully we can pull out a W against the Eagles and it'll be another Victory Monday podcast I'm coming. But until then, thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Monday evening, and we will catch you on the next one. Peace.
This is a third headstone.
One day I'm going to unmute myself during the intro and just see what the fuck happens.
I didn't
During the countdown, I'll be like, hey, are you fucking listening to me? Can you guys hear me?
I don't know if you even can. You really don't.
That's what I meant.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no, man. All right, I gotta pee.
Yeah.
What's up?
All right, man. I'll catch you with you a little later. Probably be texting you throughout the rest of the night anyway.
Were you able to find them?
All right.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah.